let's be real. People want to know if she is standing by Blake Lively in the Blake Lively-Justin Baldoni saga.
Get out the boxing gloves, ladies and gentlemen, because the Swifties are coming at me for my latest appearance on TMZ. I should have expected this. We're going to break it all down. I do just want to say, never did I expect to be the headline, especially involving udders of our show behind the headlines, but we got to do our job. We got to do our due diligence. I have to take you behind the headline. Also, some sources are coming out to Page 6 inferring that there might still be some bad blood between her and Little Miss Lively over here. So we're going to break it all down. Without further ado, hey guys, if you're new here, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ashley B. I'm an entertainment journalist. I've worked in Hollywood and the entertainment industry for over 15 years now. And on this show, we take you behind the headlines. If you love diving into your favorite entertainment shows, favorite entertainment stories all over the internet, this is the show for you, because we take that one step further. I was always someone who was obsessed with, like, okay, I hear the soundbite, but what's further context? Like, I need a group, I need my community, we need to break it all down. And on this channel, we do exactly that. I had a blast going on TMZ, and I'm going to take you through the whole process, because maybe you guys also want to end up on TMZ and really show you like what it's like being a guest on these shows, show you what also wasn't shown on the internet, and let's go from there. So let's go ahead and get started. So basically, TMZ reached out in the summertime. They saw some of my TikToks, and I don't even have a ton of followers on TikTok, but they saw some of my TikToks. They said, hey, we'd love for you to, appear on the show as like a 30-second, 1-minute guest. So I said, would love to. But then, as many of you guys know, we had, a very traumatic event this summer, losing our dog, everything. It was just so much. And I couldn't come on camera. I mean, you guys have seen it was very hard for me to just like go back to pop culture, even though I love it. When things are going on behind the scenes, it's very hard to be like, hey guys, welcome back to, the show. But regardless, I kept telling them no, I'm so sorry. Months go by. Now it's September. They're like, hey, you wanna pop back on? You wanna pop on? So finally, like a week or two ago, I went on. They send you different topics, and it's changing all the time. I'm used to this with live television, reporting for entertainment, but also for, the real hard news as well. You're used to live TV. And they land on, let's do a chat about Michelle Obama's marriage advice. So we did that little segment. They call me yesterday or 2 days ago when I went on, and they said, hey, we'd love to have you on because we saw your video. We saw your Taylor Swift video talking about how fans are not happy with this latest album. Mind you, this video only has 3,000 views. So that should show you something, like your voice matters. And I'm going to get into the importance of you guys, your microphones, and the internet coming up. And I speak about this in our segment, is that now we all have a voice, and now, you can't be afraid to use it if you feel so compelled to. So they saw the video. They said, we'd love to have you on expressing this opinion. And that's something that all producers do. Like, you're always trying to get two sides of the story. When I would go to protests, if it's like for abortion, for instance, you always want someone who's pro-abortion and anti-abortion. So you confirm, and then that was it. She's like, okay, we have some notes that the team has, and I obviously do my own research, and I've done a lot of research on this album, and that was it. So there was no like huge prep interview. There's no don't say this, don't say that, and I really appreciate it. But they said, listen, this is going to be like a 7 to 10 minute segment. This isn't like a 30-second clip. I'm like, awesome. So an hour or two later, we hop on and you see it. And what I will say is, what I love about TMZ is now they're doing that live streaming. And Harvey really loves the live streaming. Why I love this is because there's actually some element of transparency that you're not going to get anywhere else. Anywhere else, if I were to go on E! News or, any of the other outlets, we would only see the little clip. Now you can see everything that we said. So there was no prep, there was no this or that ahead of time. So I go on, we have a great time. And I'm like, okay, I've got my plan, you've got your plan. Let's go for it. We're going to have some fun. And essentially, I was shocked when this pops up in my feed, and I'm just terrified at this point afterwards because my own face is popping up in my feed. Here's their Instagram. And this is what you see. Taylor Swift, stop pulling on our udders, pop star, bleeding fans dry, TV journalist claims. And I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. The Swifties are going to come at me. I'm just going to play a short clip because then we're going to dissect the full interview.
Like she was exploiting this parasocial relationship. The 38 album variants that she keeps posting all over her Instagram stories, especially with that time ticker going on, making you feel like it is ultimate FOMO. If you don't get her latest version, you had acoustic, you had cabaret.
All right, so we're going to get into that in just a minute, but you see their headline is exclusive. Taylor Swift's treating her fans like livestock. One prominent journalist, thank you, by the way, says, because she says the pop stars are milking the Swifties like they're a bunch of cows. One of my industry friends, Marina Cakes, says, yes, love it. She's the best and always in the know. Really appreciate you. And then, of course, the Swifties start coming at you. I love this, by the way. This is actually romantic from Abby Messer. Love that, Abby. Girl, please. No one is forcing anyone to buy or purchase or consume anything. OG Swiftie. This is the top 4 album. You are the problem. All right. I'm the problem. Whatever. Who cares? If I really cared about what the internet was going to say about me, I wouldn't be on the internet, clearly. And yet I choose to put myself out here in a public setting. But everyone has a right to their own opinion. What I love, and you'll find this more and more, is that a lot of people DM me and they're like, thank you for saying what I wasn't brave enough to say. And I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of OG Swifties who are like, this album was not it. Mind you, I say all over my Instagram, I liked the album. I am like constantly replaying Life. I like Life of a Showgirl, Canceled, and Father Figure and Opalite the best. So I like those 4 the best. But I still do not believe that this was the album that she marketed to us. And I'll die on that hill. So you see that, and I'm already like terrified. And then my family sends me the article. So they send me this article, and now I'm like, oh my God, we're like a full on headline. And it says,
I have
Taylor
been using
Swift.
the GLP-1.
It says Taylor Swift bleeding the fans, TV journalist says, and I really appreciate this article because it is sick, beekeepers. For those of you who are new, we are the beekeepers, and now you're a beekeeper. It says Taylor Swift's treating her fans like livestock, one prominent journalist says. Ashley Bornanson, a TV journo who hosts the popular show Behind the Headlines, joined us on TMZ Live Wednesday, and she said this album is not the show-stopping hit like her and many other fans were expecting. Truth, fight me. Take a listen for yourself. Ashley says the album feels rushed, and she jokes it's almost like T Swift spent more time promoting the album than actually working on the tracks. I actually like that they say she jokes because we were cracking jokes the whole time. She says the business of Taylor Swift between multiple CDs at Target featuring different acoustics, the star revealing conspicuous countdown clock to merchandise she's selling in her shop is starting to run over the fans who prop it up. The way Ashley puts it, Taylor Swift's just a farmer milking her Swifties, filling up the bucket with more and more cash. Ashley says she's especially concerned about families on a budget who might spend too much money just because a child in the house says they desperately need the sweater and all the things. She adds the good news, though, is because she is finally, it is that fans are finally speaking up and saying their mind. Okay. So you see the article, and you see they actually have a different clip. They play a
Did you
different
guys listen
clip
to the album?
on they're playing a different clip on the website than they do on their Instagram. But they're taking little bits and pieces, and you can't blame them for this. This is what every outlet's going to do. They're going to take the juiciest pieces. But what I think is really fascinating and awesome actually is that they are live streaming. So we're going to dissect and listen to this whole thing, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. Okay, ready?
It has happened. It is finally happening.
So right here, do you notice that their lower third says Taylor Swift continues to milk the Swifties? So I see that graphic, even though I guess you do see it in the live stream, but you don't see that online. So that already said is milking the Swifties. So that's where I got the idea from, just for your reference.
There is a crack in the armor that is Swiftydom.
It's bigger than MAGA having a crack. It really is bigger than MAGA.
It kind of is. You don't hear Swifties turn on Taylor, but there is just some whispers going on out there. Here is an example of why some Swifties and a lot of non-Swifties think Taylor's overdone it with the release of this latest album.
The death of a showgirl.
So now they're going to reference an OG Swiftie, JJ Green from TikTok. And by the way, if you guys are making TikToks, outlets have free will to free reigns once you put it on the internet.
The life of a capitalist. That's what I think this album honestly should be called. I have been a Taylor Swift fan for an incredibly long time. Right the way back to debut, I've met her, been to every tour, bought every album. I've been a big fan the whole time. This album to me is incredibly problematic. I've woken up this morning to see that we've already got the dressing room version, the going out for a walk version, the sitting on the toilet version of various different songs. I'm not going to pay for an album and then go and do a microtransaction to go to the cinema to go and watch a film to try and understand the album that I've already paid for.
And what he's talking about is there are more variants of Taylor's latest album than COVID. It is 38 variants.
You might be right at this point.
38 variants.
Is this that perspective you just heard? I'm not sure how widespread it is, but I think our guest knows because Ashley Bornanson is not only a journalist, but herself a self-professed Taylor Swift fan. I don't know if she's at Swiftie level, but she's been watching all the reactions to this.
And here we go, guys. Here's like our 10-minute segment.
So Ashley, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey guys, it has been a wild reaction, and honestly, any Taylor Swift fan is reluctant to call themselves a Swiftie because the Swifties will come at you. But in this case, I think the Swifties are reuniting together right now because they just feel like the 38 album variants that she keeps posting all over her Instagram stories, especially with that time ticker going on, making you feel like it is ultimate FOMO. If you don't get her latest version, you had acoustic, you had cabaret, you had all the different cover arts, Target exclusives, those sweaters. Like, it was so insane. And now people are finally speaking out. And you know why, guys? Did you guys listen to the album?
Some of it.
Here and there.
Okay. And did you feel like this was the showstopper that you wanted it to be? I don't know.
I'll be honest, I was a little underwhelmed. I expected more pop bangers, and there were some pretty downbeat songs. I thought it was going to be more upbeat stuff.
Yeah, you felt like this was her vibrant return to pop music like we all did with her 1989 album with like Blank Space or, Shake It Off or something like that. But instead it was kind of like soft rock. There weren't a ton of huge Easter eggs. We wanted more from it.
And by the way, we're going to bring up the whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation in just a minute. But yeah, we're going over this. And I will say, the journalists at any outlet, they're the ones that have to be kind of down the middle, because then you let your guest, who has a really polarizing view, speak their view. And a lot of you guys have said, why is it now that Danny Greenberg from WME, who, yes, you are correct, he was let go from WME, or at least he left WME. We don't know if he was fired or let go. And now I believe he's at Paramount. Why is it that now he's saying that that situation was extortion? Why is it that now the outlets are reporting it? An outlet isn't just going to come right out and say a pop star or an actress was extorting someone. They can't just say that. Like, they do have some journalistic integrity to some extent, right? Every outlet. But once someone else says it, especially an agent at WME, then you can run with it, because then you're not the one that's falling on the sword. It's the source that's falling on the sword.
And it just felt like she was exploiting this parasocial relationship. And I think people are saying enough is enough. And back in the day, we could only hear what the outlets were saying. But now with social media, people are getting on their microphones. And in a way, it can feel like a gang mentality. But I don't think it's a gang. They're finally feeling like they feel empowered to speak up for how they really feel. And I think that's a great thing, because this was not the album she marketed. It felt like, guys, she spent more time marketing the album than she did actually making the album. And I think that's what a lot of people are disgusted by.
I think there's another thing.
And here's I'm like really scared because I'm like, the Swifties are coming at me. But that's how I feel. I feel like there's a lot of more marketing than actually making. And I like the songs. Like I said, I like the songs.
Look, you know better than me.
Now, I want you guys to listen to this, because I really appreciate how, one, that they gave me a longer segment, because typically when guests are on these types of shows, they're only getting like 3 minutes and then they're cutting it down to like 90 seconds. But this type of show, I thought it was so freaking cool that they're giving us 9-10 minutes to talk about it. And also what you don't see on TV and social media, because obviously everyone's just trying to get the click, including influencers, including content creators. We all need the click. Attention is the biggest currency right now. It's actually not money, it's attention. So we're always going to try to get you with the biggest hook. But you'll notice here that they bring a lot of nuance into the conversation. And I think that's what's lacking in our society, which is why I love long format so much on YouTube, is that there's much more nuance to a lot of these topics than we care to admit. It's not just like a one sentence headline. And I like that we dive into this conversation because we talk about, well, why are so many people against this situation with her putting out the 38 variants? And in my personal opinion, we didn't get to this, but I wish I would have added that it's because it felt like she was kind of playing unfair. It's like bringing multiple people to your boxing match and then trying to fight Adele, that she knocked her off the charts that she had for over a decade, but she didn't necessarily play fair doing it. So I like that they're bringing up this nuance.
I think there's this reaction, especially by young people, against the super rich. And now that Taylor is cemented as a billionaire, 1.6 billion, she's not one of them anymore. I mean, even though she was fabulous.
She hasn't been one of them, and they know that.
Well, even though she wasn't fabulously wealthy as a billionaire, I don't think people thought about she has 372 million. She still marketed herself as the girl I can identify with. And I wonder if that's been lost a little bit because of her fame and wealth. And on top of that, selling all these things.
You know, I think you're onto something, and I think she still tries to be that relatable bestie. Like when she talks about the sourdough bread and, oh, I can't perform at the Super Bowl because that's my boyfriend. She really tries to act like she's one of us. But when you look at how much she's exploiting our pocketbooks, I mean, your lower third says it all. She's milking the Swifties. We are cows, and she is milking us for all she's worth. And why? Why? But honestly, if you keep milking us, we're not going to keep buying your records, because we just don't want to support capitalism. And you know more than ever that now people are so nervous with the economy, especially this year. I mean, Fortune 500 companies are laying off thousands and thousands of employees. AI is taking over. We're seeing it take over in the entertainment industry. You see Tilly Norwood. Soon your guys are going to be reporting on Tilly Norwood.
So what I'm talking about right here is a lot of you guys probably have seen all over the internet that there's this AI actress coming in. And I was actually among the actors who was fighting in the protests. I went to the SAG protest because, you know, we're fighting for so many rights to be put into place. A lot of you guys probably aren't aware, but when you have like a Netflix show or when you have something streaming, you're not getting residuals. So back in the day, you know, you have your Jen Aniston, you have your actors from the show Friends, and, you know, all those massive sitcoms. You could make really serious lifetime money being on a sitcom, being on network television. And now with everything streaming, it's not the same deals. So when you have things like we're talking about, the economy in the entertainment industry has gone so far down. I talk about this in other videos. I talk about this actually in a Meghan Markle video of why I think people have quietly canceled her and Harry, and how it was crazy that her show got made when so many other shows in Hollywood haven't got made. I'll link that in the description below if you feel like checking that out. But the entertainment industry is going down so much. So we're talking about Tilly Norwood because now people are saying, oh, look at all these companies. Now you can use AI. Now you don't need actors. And it's so sad. A lot of actors are speaking out about this. But think about even the writers' rooms. Writers' rooms used to be 15 to 20, 25 people in the writers' rooms putting together shows, great money for their families, amazing jobs. And now writers' rooms, because the budgets are so much smaller because of technology and because of streaming services, they're not making as much money. Writers' rooms are being cut down to like 3 to 5 people. I'm seeing this. We talk about Fortune 500 companies in just a second. But yeah, it's wild.
Taking over.
Getting into all of it.
So people are nervous and they feel like she's exploiting this relationship. And mind you, notice I've never seen an album, correct me if I'm wrong, where she's dropping voice notes. And I thought that was really interesting. You want to know why? Let's be real. People want to know if she is standing by Blake Lively in the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni saga. They thought the voice notes would let us know if the song canceled or if other songs were about Blake Lively.
So wait, that's not what the voice notes are about?
You guys think I bought the version with the I'm listening to this on
Ashley,
Spotify.
if you didn't buy it, so all right, Ashley, I'm gonna I was not expecting that. All right, I'm gonna play contrarian.
I love this because I think it was the voice notes for me. Like, I think that's actually insane. I couldn't imagine. To me, it's like you're writing a book and then you have like 12 different endings. And now the people who have already bought one version, they want to see the 11 other versions because they're already invested. They want to keep buying. So this was hilarious. These guys were so much fun to me. And I like the nuance of the conversation. And I like when people play devil's advocate, by the way. I'm like, listen, bring it. Like, I think we should all be playing devil's advocate. We shouldn't just be having one thought and living in an echo chamber and surrounding ourselves with the people who have the exact same thoughts.
I'm going to play contrarian because although it sounds like there are a lot of people in Taylor, a lot of Taylor fans who are coming to my side of the street, because I've been saying this for a long time about all these different versions and that it's really just done to game the charts and to make sure that her album stays at #1 longer. I would say to these fans who are so upset, then just buy the one version you want and that's it.
But I understand what you're saying. Like, if you don't want to buy the album, don't buy it. But there are a lot of young people who are pressuring their families who are probably on tight budgets right now in this economy saying, I don't want to be the one left out. And people are getting really sick of that.
Ashley, it's so good talking to you. Finally, some common sense.
Some common sense.
Yes. Appreciate you
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Ashley.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Of
Ashley.
course. I'll see you guys next time.
You know, we also talk about, and I'm like, maybe that was cut, but we talk about, maybe they played it earlier, maybe I'm just blanking, but we also talk about how, you know, young people, they're not just us buying the CDs, but it's their daughters feeling left out of, you know, oh, this person bought this. This person got this sweater, this person, you know, got this variant and pressuring their mothers and daughters. But I had a great time on TMZ. I would love to go back and I would love to be on other outlets. And why I think this is an important conversation to have, because I know a lot of people who watch my show, you guys love that we're not legacy media, that we're independent journalists. And by the way, like, praise independent journalists and praise people like you, which is why I wanted to give a shout out to our internet investigators. You guys are like the reporters of the show behind the headlines. And I really want to go off platform. So I think I'll put it in the description below, but I want to take people off platform and form our own like newsroom. I don't know if we should call it the newsroom or the hive. Let me know in the comments below. But where we can have like Discord and we can chat about these topics kind of offline and we can kind of build our own newsroom. I think that would be sick because it's amazing. And we're changing the internet and we're changing the culture. I spoke with friends at my last, you know, CBS affiliate I worked at, and we were talking about how now CBS reporters are getting on TikTok. And which, by the way, when I did that stuff, when I was in the legacy newsrooms, it was kind of like frowned upon, like you'd kind of get made fun of. And now the reporters are literally part of their daily routine are now having to create TikToks and Instagram reels. So the landscape of media is completely changing. I saw this on LinkedIn yesterday where NBC folks were talking about how massive layoffs at NBC yesterday. I believe that someone from the Today Show posted that. So the entertainment industry, the news industry is changing. And I feel so empowered by what we're creating here. Like, do you have that? Like, my I have butterflies. I woke up at 4 a.m. to film this for you guys because I am so excited. I feel like we are onto something. I feel like we lit a match of a firework that's like exploding right now. And I have to call you guys out, the beekeepers, because we're making this happen together. And I could see our show completely blowing up. And that's my vision for it, is like taking people, your average viewer who's just looking at headlines, and diving deeper into stories. So I have this huge mission, and it's so awesome to have you guys be a part of it, because I mean, the world is changing, and it's so cool that we get to be the change makers. But I think it's really important to go on shows like this because, one, we're getting more exposure, obviously. But two, it's great to have these conversations where we get to talk about, hey, how is media changing? And when you have a voice, like, the best thing you can do is market that voice, promote that voice, and to get in on as many shows as possible. What I really like is that the first, big appearance promoting our show, which is our popular show according to TMZ, was in this fashion because they were live streaming, and the producers and I were chatting afterwards, and I'm like, I love that you guys live stream because it is a sense of transparency that people don't typically get in media. There's a massive lack of trust in media, which is why you guys are going to the internet. So I think the times are changing, and it's so important. And if you guys are creators out there, this is a great takeaway, that video, guys, that video that got the attention of TMZ, that wasn't some massive, like, viral video I did. Like, if you look at my channel, the Taylor Swift video, it only has 3.3 thousand views. So that's not a massive hit. What does that tell you? I'm in their algorithm. So our voices matter. You don't need a billion views to go viral. If you are a creator and you're interested in learning more of these techniques, I really took all the news techniques that I know, I took it to the internet. And it all is the same. You know what I mean? Like, we are the same as outlets. So if you're interested and you want to hop into, I have this Buzz Builder Bootcamp that we're launching November 1st. And I want to help you guys grow your YouTube channel. I have a huge discount code. It's 75% off. I'm going to put it in the description below. Grab your spot. I'm only going to work with a small group of people so I could really help you and invest in your channel. But here's one of the tactics, and it's so cool to see. And I love getting proof of concept that a viral video, you don't have to have a viral video to get the attention of major outlets. So this was amazing. Speaking of major outlets, Page 6 just had some news coming out. What is this? This was last night, saying some news with our little lying lively, which is that Taylor Swift has had no contact with former bestie Blake Lively since the Justin Baldoni lawsuit drama. Blake Lively and Taylor Swift still seem to have bad blood, while Instagram's Scuttlebutt, is that a word? Scuttlebutt? Dumois? I've never heard anyone call anyone Scuttlebutt. Reported this week that the former friends whose relationship was marred amid the fallout from Lively's legal drama, they had a low-key reunion. So Dumois posted they had a low-key reunion, but a source tells Page 6 they've had no contact, saying that the once-tight pair haven't spoken since last winter when the drama surrounding the case began unfolding. Another source confirmed that the former BFFs have not spoken or seen each other, but did not elaborate on a timeline. So again, you could see a headline, you could see even a photo. You don't know when that photo was taken. And apparently people are debunking that photo. So you can't trust everything you see on the internet. That's why we like going behind the headlines. If you haven't already, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We've got so many fun stories ahead. I did watch the full interview of Kim Kardashian on Call Her Daddy. I think she shared so many explosives that people are not talking about because, again, they're just reading the headline that Kim Kardashian doesn't know how much a carton of milk costs, which, guys, did you think that Kim Kardashian is buying her own? Do you think Kim Kardashian is drinking milk? I don't think so. But a lot of explosives. So we're going to have that in a video coming up. Hit the subscribe button and hit your notifications bell. And again, join the Patreon community. Let's build out our own newsroom. I'm so excited. Like, I am so pumped up. Do you guys feel the juju? Because I feel the juju. We're onto something. And I'm so excited and I'm so thankful that you guys are a part of this journey, because it's because of you. It's because of your comments that really keep me going and keep me inspired. And it's, it's hard running your own newsroom over here. And so I really appreciate you guys being there for me. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you in the next one. Ciao.